Hey there, welcome to our September budget. The month's over now. We're going to share with you everything that happened. If you're new here, I'm Stephanie, and this is my husband, Mike.
Howdy.
We blog at sixfiguresunder.com, and we've actually been sharing our budget and our income and our debt payoff since 2013. Back then, we were in 6 figures of student loan debt. We've since paid that off, and now we've got other financial goals like paying off our house. But we just share our budget every month to help normalize budgeting and finances and talking about debt and those sorts of things. So if you didn't grow up learning about budgets, it's okay. You can learn about finances now. So we're going to jump right in. This is YNAB. That's short for You Need a Budget. And this is the software that we use to track our budget. And we've used it for years and just love it.
It's pretty awesome.
Okay, so I have income here at the top, but we'll actually talk about that at the end. This is kind of my little category where I keep track of income. Let's jump right into spending, what we did with our money in September. Now, I should mention first that we're a month ahead, so all the money that we spent in September was money that we earned in August. So we didn't do anything with our money that we earned in August until the 1st of September when we budgeted it in these categories right here. So,
and that sounds like some small thing, but being a month ahead has probably been the single most meaningful change we've made in how we've been doing budgeting since we were married. It's phenomenal, and it really changes in a huge way how we feel about our money and how we use it and how confident we are in being able to make decisions, because we've got a bundle of money sitting right there that we can just set according to our priorities.
And we won't go all into it right now because this is about September's budget, but I will link to a couple of videos where we talk about how to get a month ahead and what it really means to be a month ahead. So if you're interested in that, you can just check those out.
So let's start with giving. Each month we pay a 10% tithe on the money that we earned, of course, the previous month, because we are a month ahead. For this month, that's just over $1,000 because we grossed just over $10,000. We also make a regular donation to a charity for folks who need extra help locally here. And we didn't have any other giving this month, so it was just that $1,100.
Okay, electricity. Our electric bill this month was $478, and I think that's a record for us. I think, at least for this year, that's our highest bill. Now, our house is all electric. We don't have any gas or propane, and we do have a 1-bedroom apartment that we rent on our property as well that goes into this. Most of this bill comes from August, and we hit triple digits for a couple weeks in August, so we used our air conditioning. Now, I can't even imagine what our bill would be like if we used our air conditioning every day when it's not triple digits. I can't even imagine how big our bill would be because this is only using it, on the super hot days. Anyway, now car insurance, $71 a month. We are down to 1 car by choice. Since Mike's working from home and I'm homeschooling the kids, we don't use our cars that much. So we took one of them off the insurance, so we're not paying for insurance or registration or anything on that vehicle. So it's just the one van. Internet, $70 a month. Water bill, we pay this every other month. And last month we set aside $200 for this bill, thinking that it was going to be through the roof because we've been watering our big garden all summer. So we were pleasantly surprised to have a bill of $300 this month, so we only needed $100 to meet that.
That should be the highest bill we have for the year because it was the hottest part of the year where we had the most garden going. So that should be back down again now as we're getting into the fall.
Okay, mortgage, this is the same every month, $2,836. This is for our 15-year mortgage. We refinanced back in December, I guess. It was right after we had a baby. We refinanced the house.
When we did this refinance at the end of last year, we refinanced into a 2.875% APR loan, and that seemed phenomenal. They've actually gone down and down and down, and last month I saw rates as low as 2.0% or even just a little bit below that, and that is as low as it ever has been for mortgages here in the United States. So if you're in a mortgage and you're paying 3% or 4% or it's been many years and you're still paying 6%, heavens, this is the time to refinance and, maybe even cut hundreds of dollars off your payment every month. Because mortgage rates aren't going to get lower than this. I said that before. I think it's really true now. You really can't get much lower than 2%.
Yeah, if you're like most people, your house payment is your biggest payment every month. So if you can cut that down, go for it. Okay, trash. This bill comes every other month, and I just found out that it went up again. So it's $40 a month. So the bill comes next month, and it'll be $80. Cell phones, we have 2 cell phones. This pays for 2 cell phones. We have Visible. In the past, we've had Republic Wireless. Also loved that. Very affordable. We just don't have reception at our house with Republic, and we had to just use Wi-Fi, which is fine, except they turn our electricity off here in California sometimes. And without Wi-Fi, without electricity and Wi-Fi, we didn't have any service. So we moved to Visible, which does get coverage at our house with or without electricity.
Visible is a Verizon subsidiary, so it's on the Verizon 4G LTE network.
But seriously, if you're paying more than like $25 or $30 a month for your cell phone, that is too much. I'll leave some links below to several carriers that are so much more affordable and still have great coverage and reputation. Spending on your cell phone probably isn't one of your big financial goals. You could take that money and put it towards something that really matters. At least that's my opinion. Maybe you live for your cell phone. I don't know, but I say get a cheaper one. Okay, piano lessons. Our oldest takes piano lessons from a teacher that's not me. I'm teaching the younger kids right now, but she's advanced. Our home phone, we have an UMA phone that's a voice over IP phone, $5 a month. Orthodontist, we pay $61 a month. I think we put $500 down in the beginning, and then we pay $61 a month for 2 years while our daughter has braces. Disability insurance, we pay $151 a month.
And that covers about 2/3 of my income if something should happen where I'm not able to work as an attorney, so that for the rest of our lives we at least have that to work with. Right now our income potential is really our greatest financial asset, and we want to make sure that we're doing something so that if that's endangered, we can go ahead and have something to live on. So let's hit the expenses that are a little bit different each month. The monthly bills are generally about the same each month. Our everyday expenses, we can get these in the ballpark, but we'll see in the first category that we spent $855
Which
on
is
food.
Through the roof.
This is more than we've spent in a long time.
So normally we spend like $500, maybe $600 a month for our family of 8. But I'll talk about this, I guess, since I'm the one who does the shopping. But our monthly grocery haul, there's a video and a blog post about that. I show you everything that we got. We spent, $460 on that, which that's bigger than our normal monthly grocery haul. We got more bulk foods and things for our food storage. But then I had 2 other big mid-month grocery hauls. Normally mid-month, it's just, produce or milk or bread or little, good deals that I find here and there. But I found some major deals. I'll link here to the video where I tell you what those deals were. I'll keep you in suspense. Okay, you can go ahead, Mike.
So moving on to our household miscellaneous, we try not to throw too many things into miscellaneous because that makes it hard to
That could get
have a
dangerous.
good budget. If everything's miscellaneous, then you're not really planning your budget at all. But here we have things that we use in the house. There is a ginormous box of toilet paper. We stock up with a huge box from Sam's Club that covers like 6 months at a time. There was a bunch of diapers and wipes. Hopefully we'll get our littlest through diapers.
We usually use cloth, but we get some disposables for when we go out of town, or I just wanted to have those on hand.
And we spent $50 on birth certificates for him as well. It's $25 a pop, and we hadn't picked one up. He's almost 1, so we figured it was time to do that. We got a couple of those, and then a few other random sorts of things we use in the household. When we get to fuel, this is actually so $2.45 in February of this year would have seemed like a miracle. It would have been awesome. That's actually way more than we're usually spending now.
Sure.
But we took a road trip because we haven't gone anywhere in so long, and spent some time camping and enjoyed being away from home with our family, and it took gasoline to do that, so we spent $2.45. Clothing, $15.44. Stephanie mentioned
the kids and I went to the thrift store and got some shoes. When we first went back to church after not going for months because of COVID, all the kids' shoes were too small. And so we went to the thrift store and found some shoes for the kids who needed them.
Moving on to animals, we actually didn't spend anything. We'd stocked up on animal food, so that's a category that didn't have much action in it this month. We did spend some money in kids' activities and school. Those are musical instruments. We have a French horn and a saxophone that are new to our family. Not new, but new to our family. We paid for part of that last month. We put $500 in, and this covers the rest of that. So we have our own little family band class.
They were playing duets today. It was pretty cute. It was pretty loud, but it was cute.
Allowances, so we give the kids allowance that's not based on anything except for age. It's basically learning money, so that they can learn how to do things with their money without us having to constantly be trying to figure out how much to pay them based on how many chores they've done or haven't done. They do lots of chores, but we don't tie allowance to how much work they've done. We just expect them to do work, and then we provide this as a learning tool for them to be able to practice money on. We usually don't have anything here in the homeschool category now because since we've joined the charter, they'll take care of some of our homeschool expenses, but there was something that the charter wouldn't pay for, so we have $8.50 in homeschool expenses.
Okay, sinking funds. This is where it really is fun, I think. We set aside this money each month, and then when we need the money, it's already there, earmarked for this sort of expense. So medical and dental, we put $400 a month. And some months, like this month, we didn't use all of it. We used $25. But we have some medical bills coming up that will use up the rest of this pretty much, and that will put us at our max out of pocket for our insurance. So it's really nice to have that there. Car repair, we have been putting $300 a month, but looking at what we've got in here, $4,000, and only driving one car right now, we're not using very much of it, so we decided to stop putting money toward that right now. We did spend $64 for one little thing, though. Christmas, we've been putting $100 a month. I did spend $550 on a great deal that I found on something for our boys for Christmas. There's $783 left there. Life insurance, we put $75 a month, which gets us to our premium, which I think is coming up in November. Okay, birthdays and gifts, we put $40 a month. This month we didn't spend any of that, and we have $276 in there. Registration and smog, this is another one that we kind of stopped putting money toward. There's $461 in there. I think our registration is, $120 a year, and smogging is like $70 a year. So with one vehicle, this will be fine for a while. Family fund. We didn't spend anything or put anything into this. There's $745 there right now. Our car fund. This is another one that we stopped putting money into. We were putting $550 a month toward a new car for Mike, maybe a Prius or something that gets good gas mileage because he was commuting an hour each way, at least an hour each way, to work. But since COVID happened, he's been working at home. So we kind of set that goal on pause right now. We've got $6,200 sitting there. We haven't decided what to do. We'll see what happens in the future. But for now, we're putting that on hold. Home projects, we put $200 in this month, and we spent $289. That was buying some lumber to make some more garden beds for our garden. And the price of lumber since we first made the garden beds, I don't know, in April or whenever we started the garden project, the price of lumber has gone up 50%. So the garden project's getting more expensive any way you slice it. Okay, preparedness. We put $100, and this month we bought some more food grade buckets to store food in long term. Let's see, we got some new batteries for Mike's ham radio, and some oxygen absorber packets to go in with the food storage.
All right, moving on to investing. This pretty much stays the same every single month. So there's no news here. We put $25 a month in each of the kids' college savings plan. That's the California Savings Plus 529 plan for us. And that's something. It's not a whole lot. It's not going to pay for their college, but we use...
Nobody paid for our college either. We got scholarships. We worked in college. We were frugal. There's a lot of other ways to save.
So we, in addition to that, put $500 each month into Stephanie's Roth IRA. That just allows us to maximize our contribution there at $6,000, the maximum. So that'll cover that. And my retirement actually comes out of my paycheck for a pension with the state.
This part's the same every month. We put $90 a month for our tax preparation plan. Okay, Mortgage Extra. This is our exciting category where this is our big goal that we're working toward. So from this month's budget, we had $1,097 that went straight toward our mortgage. But as you can see right here, we actually put $11,097 toward our mortgage. If you've been following us for a while, you know at the beginning of COVID, we had $10,000 that we were ready to put toward our mortgage, right a little bit after all of this erupted, and we decided just to hold on to it and wait to see what happened. And now we feel like things are a little bit more
we at
normal.
Least feel more informed. We don't fear the end of the world as much as we're just very wary about our own contacts with people, and we know the economy is in a rough spot, but we don't think we'd rather put that $10,000 actively towards something than just letting it sit there. We have an emergency fund and other things for if there is an emergency still.
So it made a good dent in our mortgage. As
it felt really nice to put $10,000 toward the mortgage.
At the end of September, the balance on our mortgage is $277,187. Okay, our rental expenses, the only expense we had, which is no longer an expense, was Netflix. We've since canceled Netflix. At the beginning of September, we paid $13 for that. Okay, I keep our income notes right up here. From the state, Mike brought home about $6,400. The blog brought in about $1,500. And our rental brought in about $1,000.
So if you've been following for a while, you'll know that we've had our above garage apartment rented on Airbnb for a few years, and it's been fantastic. It's gotten a little bit more complicated with COVID, and for that and some other reasons, we decided we'd go ahead and have a regular renter in there. So we have somebody who's in there for a year, and that means that we earn less. It's $1,000 a month. It's significantly less, but we also don't have to go up and change the apartment over every time somebody comes and between stays. While we expect to probably go back to Airbnb after this year, it's kind of a nice time to have a long-term renter.
Okay, I think that covers pretty much everything. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We're an open book. We don't mind talking about this at all, and we'd love to help you out and answer any questions.
See you next time.